It's got to be better here in 19 for Florida State. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, running down the Seminoles position by position. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, talking up Florida State here with Jason Parker from Chop Chat. So Jason joins me, and we typically have a whole crew of us every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, right here for live talk, in which it's different from right now because you can jump on the line, you join the chat room, we answer your comments and questions as we talk Florida State football for 1 full hour every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So please lock it in right there. We move to the secondary, all-time great position in college football. Florida State is a DBU. I'm not going to have that argument right now. We have in the past, certainly. It certainly is in the running. Currently, Jason, you bring up the name of Lars-Woodbey and talked about his physicality and him stepping down into a linebacker role and kind of playing a bit of a hybrid. So we'll start with him. He obviously was one of the prized recruits coming out of high school, a guy that was a big win for Florida State. So take us through the secondary.
Jaden Lars-Woodbey will be the player who he's Derwin James. He's Jalen Ramsey. He is, he's Leroy Butler. He's LaMarcus Joyner. He's a bigger LaMarcus Joyner. He has the potential to be the key for that entire defensive unit. He has the potential to be the most important player when he is on the field. You look at what he did as a true freshman last year, and I'm not just talking about numbers. I'm talking about with how he tackled, with how he played last year. He was arguably, there were points where as a true freshman, he was the best player on that defense for Florida State last year. And that is hard to do when you are a true freshman playing for the DBU. And yes, I will say it. I know Mark won't say it. I will say it. Florida State is DBU.
LSU, Miami, Ohio State, those are the big competitors for that title.
Yeah, Terrell Buckley, Leroy Butler, LaMarcus Joyner, Jalen Ramsey. We'll continue this later. Derwin James, we have all summer.
I know you've got a fight on your hands. I know it's a good argument. Definitely.
Let's save that for Wednesday. We'll do that this Wednesday. We'll do DBU.
Okay.
But as far as that, I think Woodbey has a chance to do that. Secondary is going to be a position that of late, while FSU is in the eyes of some DBU, it has gone downhill, probably I would say since the 2014 Rose Bowl team. I think to me, the biggest question mark is you have guys like Lars-Woodbey. You have guys like Stanford Samuel, his dad, former Florida State player. He shined as a freshman, kind of went down a little bit last season, but can he bounce back in his junior year? You have Asante Samuel Jr., obviously his dad, former, is a legend in the NFL if you're a Patriots fan and whatnot. He had a decent freshman year. Can he build off that as a sophomore? The player to me in the secondary that I still have the biggest question mark about is arguably the biggest recruit out of that group, and that is Levante Taylor. This is a guy who came in as a top 10 recruit nationally, regardless of position, out of the state of Virginia in the 2016 class. But to me, and just watching him play, what has he done that has earned that credit? Is he somebody who came in too overranked? Is he somebody who has not fulfilled his job yet as arguably one of the better recruits in recent years, and probably arguably the best recruit that was picked up by the last administration? This is his senior season. Can he go out with a bang? Is this the year where he helps lead the turnaround to both improve his draft stock and to improve FSU standing as a college football power program? That's going to be the biggest question for me. And I think as he goes, as Stanford Samuel III goes, as Asante Samuel Jr. goes, and then as Jaden Lars-Woodbey goes, that's going to be the key to that unit, because that secondary was atrocious at times last year. And it was almost frustrating because you saw, while we talk about how bad the offensive line was for the offense, there weren't a lot of, decent players out there. The secondary has names. They have guys, top recruits. And this recruiting class you have coming in, You have a guy like Akeem Dent from Palm Beach County, from down South Florida, who I argue could see decent playing time against Boise State, just judging by what we saw in the spring. So that's going to be the biggest question mark: is can the secondary turn things around after a dismal 2018 season?
Woodbey, 59 tackles last year, 4.5 tackles for loss and a sack. Samuel's not getting into the backfield, counted on for other things. Of course, 4 picks, 58 tackles, and a tackle for loss. And you mentioned Taylor. He had a pick 6 last year for 63 yards, but that came against Sanford, so it doesn't really matter. Yes, you make the play if it's right there for you, but it's not made in a game against a worthy opponent that is meaningful, impactful in a close game against an ACC or a Power 5 opponent. So, yeah, Taylor, now if he steps up and plays to his potential, then you've got a whole different situation for a secondary that gave up 30 touchdowns last year.
And he has shown it. Levante Taylor has shown that he has the ability. Like you mentioned the pick 6 there. He had a pick 6 against Florida. He had 2 interceptions the year before in the regular season finale of 2017 against Florida. He has the potential, and he has shown glimpses of the ability of what FSU saw when they recruited him, when they were able to sign him. Can those flashes become a full 12-game regular season, 13 games if you count in the bowl game, hopefully? Can that go on? If that can go on and those glimpses can continue through the course of the 2019 season, I think FSU will be in good shape, because I think as Taylor goes, as his leadership goes, I think the rest of the guys will follow.